My kid, if I were to describe him, he's sort of like a grouchy 95-year-old philosopher in a cute little package. I mean, he can be sweet and adorable, but he's really not a people pleaser. For example, he was going to swimming lessons not too long ago, and I was trying to get all of his bag together and get him in his suit, and he was complaining. He was really pissed off about it. And so my husband piped in and said, you know, Luca, these swimming lessons are very important. They could actually save your life, or you could even save someone else's life. And his response was, I don't want to be a hero. I don't want to be a hero. Too many people crowding around you. I need my space. So the other day, we're lying in bed. Tony and I were sleeping in. It's around the holidays. And he walks upstairs. And he puts his hand on his hip and he says, who's going to make me breakfast? And my husband doesn't even open his eyes. He's got, the sheets up to here. And he goes, is this the same kid that I have to ask 20 times to make his bed before he eats his breakfast? Is this the same kid that I need to ask 20 times to get dressed before we leave the house? Is this the same kid I have to ask 20 times to feed the dog before we leave for school? And Luca's response was, are you calling me lazy and fat? It was funny. The other day, I don't know how it came up, but he mentioned something about, we were talking about where he was going to live. I said, so Luca, what do you think when you grow up, where do you think you're going to live? And he said, oh, I'm here. I said, really? I said, where are you going to sleep? He says, with you. I said, well, where's Dad going to sleep? In my bed. I said, Luca, there's a Greek myth about that, and it doesn't end well. Parenting is a contact sport. There's no doubt about it. And it's funny because, Luca in particular is, he's willful. He just fights back just constantly. And I mean, it's funny, sometimes I'll run into a Madrona teacher and they'll say, Luca he's such a warm and tender heart. And I'll be like, I'm glad. I'm glad he's like that for you. So he's about 5 years old, and we're down at the beach, and we're having a good day. He finds a stick that looks like a machine gun. I mean, he is just totally psyched about this stick that he found. But I'm talking to a friend, and he wants my attention, so he keeps interrupting, and I'm like, Luca, hey, just give me a sec. And he's like, he wants my attention so badly, he takes the stick and he whacks me on the side of the leg with it. Well, I don't like being hit with sticks, so I grab the stick and I chuck it over a bush, so it's unretrievable, and he's just like, this stick! That's the best stick I ever had! Mommy! I need this stick! I am never gonna find another stick like that! I said, Luca, honey, I'm sorry you're so upset, but you can't hit Mommy with sticks. He's like, please, Mommy! Please! He starts to wail. You would have thought I cut his finger off. The kind of wailing that makes people look like, what did she just do to him? So it's time to leave the beach. So we're leaving the beach. We go up to the truck where I parked. He is furious with me, absolutely furious. I get him in the car. I buckle him in, and one of the first things he does, he pulls down the little mirror, and he looks at himself, and he's like tears streaming down his face. It's like, look at me! Look at how you made me feel! Your child has such a tender heart. Really? So we're driving up the road. He is just wailing. And then he gets to that stage. So I see a friend of mine I hadn't seen in a while, and I roll the window down. I'm like, hey, how's it going? What's up? I'm totally ignoring him. And she walks up to the car, and she's like, oh, I'm just went on a vacation. Things have been good. And then she sees Luca, and she's like, Luca, you okay? He's like, my mommy made me mad. And I tune him out again, and we start talking, and then just loud enough for both of us to hear, he says, Mommy, I hate you. And I had never heard him say that. I was totally stunned, and I looked at him, I said, Luca. I said, wow, hate's a strong word. I said, you say that, it hurts people's feelings. And then my friend is like, and Luca, when you say that word, you can't take it back. So he's sitting there, and he's like, Mommy, I really, really, really hate you. I mean, I will say, it's like all of us have this experience just when you want to sell them to the gypsies, when they just, you're down to your last nerve. He'll say something like, Mom, when we snuggle at night, why do they call it spooning? And my response was, well, I think because that's how the spoons fit together in the silverware drawer. So, why don't they call it forking?